it's your boy. It's like, no.
Shout out.
Hey, it's me, the one and only Kira Rosati, and I'm back with another video. This one is definitely going to be a more serious topic. I think I already said that in the other part. It don't matter, but yeah, we about to have us a little discussion or whatever, because I want to be serious. I want to be a human being, and I really want to be down to earth. Let you know for a second that I'm human and I go through things and things happen and all other stuff. So yeah, just stay tuned, whatever you dig. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and get into it. I actually recorded this video back in February, but I really didn't like the angle or just the video in general, and I'm really particular about what I put out, so I wanted to just come back, do it again, and just have that conversation all over. All right, so I actually just wanted to take a break from talking about makeup and beauty and all of that jazz for a second and really talk about something that's really important to me, things that I've been going through. I briefly touched on this topic in my last video where I mentioned like stuff I was going through back in like January and going to die and all this other crap, but I actually wanted to come on here and talk about it in depth because, ooh, that's not the word one use, depth. Whatever, how the fuck you say that word. But I really want to talk about it because it's something that I've been seeing that a lot of people have also been going through. A lot more people have been coming out and talking about these topics in 2019 that I see. And there's a lot of things that we all go through, but a lot of us just don't discuss. So pretty much to touch back on to what I was saying in my last video. So as a lot of you may know, back in January, I went to the emergency room twice. I was like really depressed. That went into last month. And then also, I don't know, just been going through like a lot of emotions that I really can't explain. So just to briefly go back on to what was going on back in January, I had like really bad headaches. They were just so severe that I thought I was dying. I obviously wasn't dying. I'm here now. It ended up me just needing to get a tooth pulled. Like once that was pulled, it went away. But me not being a doctor or not knowing what was going on, I didn't even know like what was causing those problems. But it was just so bad that I was giving myself anxiety. I was just counting on my last days and like, oh my God, this is the end of my life. What I'm going to do, I'm not ready to go. And on top of just a bunch of other things. But that's briefly what was going on, what I was dealing with back in January and trying to overcome. So like a little bit after I was going through that, we get into February. I was going through a lot of emotions that I honestly didn't know where they were coming from. Like I was feeling sad, I was feeling depressed, I was thinking about death, I was scared to go outside, just a whole bunch of different things I really couldn't explain. So I'm just like, you know, maybe I just need a break from work, because remember, a lot of you do know that back in December, I did get robbed at Amazon. So I don't know if I was just, you know, had overlying feelings from that or what. I really don't know. But just me being scared to go outside. Like anybody who walked past me outside, I just be hype, or not hype, but just get like the chills. Just things I couldn't explain. So like, let me just go ahead and take a break, clear my head. Maybe I just need to take a break from the normal scenery. So I made a trip to go see my mom down in Georgia. So I go to Georgia and, you know, happy to see my mom, happy to see my sister, but I didn't feel any better. The whole time while I was down there, all I could do was lie in bed and literally think about death. I couldn't sleep because all I could think about was dying in my sleep. And it was just horrible. Like before then, like I never really experienced depression myself or really knew how it could affect you or what it could feel like. I wasn't self-diagnosed, but I wasn't medically diagnosed, but just from what I was experiencing, I'm like, that had to be it. But yeah, so I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. I barely seen friends while I was in Georgia. Like I just had this really bad uneasiness in my body that I couldn't explain. And all I could do was research topics about death, how people die, if there's an afterlife, if there's anything at all, different types of religions, spirituality, just questions I never really even wondered about before these things would happen to me. It just, these questions were just popping in and out of my head, and I couldn't help but to just do constant research, and I was driving myself crazy because like literally every 5 seconds I was just looking something up. So my whole time in Georgia, you know, I'm down there trying to enjoy myself, but this is all I could think about. But then my mom thinks I'm a hypochondriac because she's like, there's nothing wrong with you, to stop thinking that. But I'm like, no, something's wrong. I just didn't know what it is. Like, I legit thought I was having a heart attack or a borderline heart attack. I went to the emergency room. They're like, no, you're young, you're healthy, all your tests are gonna make fine. I'm like, no, I'm dying, like I need to do something. They're like, no, you don't. But a lot of you do know I've been having chest pains for years. I don't know why they happen, but they do. And sometimes they bother me a lot, and then sometimes they don't. So it might have just been one of them time periods on top of, you know, having anxiety and all types of stuff. They're like, you know, you're just overthinking things. You need to calm down, maybe do some exercise, and you'll be okay. But yeah, so while I was down there, of course, me reading a lot, I did bump into a term that I have never heard of before. And the term is existential crisis. Now, a lot of you may have heard this term before, but before I started experiencing these emotions and these feelings that I didn't understand, I came across that term trying to understand exactly what it was that I was going through, and it hit the nail on the head. Now I'm going to go ahead and insert a clip that just shows you the definition of it so that you know if you don't know. People can have an existential crisis when they start to wonder what life means and what their purpose or the purpose to life as a whole is. It can be a break in thinking patterns where you suddenly want answers to life's big questions. It's not uncommon to search for meaning and purpose in your life. With an existential crisis, however, the problem lies in being unable to find satisfying answers. For some people, the lack of answers triggers a personal conflict from within, causing frustration and loss of inner joy. An existential crisis can affect anyone at any age, but many experience a crisis in the face of a difficult situation, perhaps the struggle to succeed. And here you will see some causes and their effects, of course, and you know where it pretty much stems from. So hope you have a pretty good understanding and you're able to do your own research. And if you've also experienced that, comment down below, because I just want to know, is that something else that, you know, people I know or may watch this video have experienced as well? When I researched it, like, there's a lot of people who experienced this, and I just didn't know. I didn't know it was a thing. Like, before, you know, 2020 began, I've never really thought about death, didn't think about it, didn't dwell on my mind, no nothing. Of course, I know that, you know, people die every day. Typically, when we get old, we die, or for whatever unfortunate reason, you die earlier. But it never really bothered me like that until... Okay, so pretty much after discovering what an existential crisis is, I kind of, you know, was getting different perspectives from different friends and family just to see, you know, like if they heard of it or their perspectives on life and what do you think it is and things like that. But pretty much after you have seen the definition of existential crisis, what I concluded was that my depression may have been coming from just not being happy with the current state of my life and just, you know, struggling with trying to make changes, I guess, and different decisions, because as you can see, people can be quite overwhelmed with, you know, daily, everyday struggles. And then, you know, it kind of made me feel better, not to say that I was happy to see that other people struggle, but just to know that I'm not alone in this world and that other people do have these emotions. Because from doing a lot of the research, I see that this is something that a lot of people go through. There are many videos on it, and there are ways that you can get through these things. But my feelings were just so strong. Like, I've never felt anything like this in my life. Like, I couldn't do anything. Like, I had anxiety on a bus ride to even get to Atlanta, when my mom and I and my sister would go out to eat. Like, I didn't like being out. I didn't like being in social places. Whenever I ate, I felt like I was gonna die just from eating. Like, it was just crazy. Like, I'm like, OMG, what's going on? So when I got back to Baltimore, or Baltimore, however you want to say it, whatever, I actually decided to find a therapist. I know in the Black community, a lot of people don't take mental health seriously, but I'm like, it's no way in hell I can go through my life, or the next couple months, however long this feeling will last, feeling like this. So I went through my insurance after 1,001 calls and research. I finally found me a therapist. Now, I've only had about 3 sessions with her so far, but it's just nice to talk to someone who doesn't know you. So we really haven't got, in depth exactly with all the treatment. And these last 3 sessions, I've just been telling her a lot of things that have been going on in my life from like when I was younger up till now, just so she can get to know me and develop a plan for me. But it's just nice to talk to someone who's not going to judge you, who's going to give you, unbiased opinions and advice, and just, be there for you, because the things that have been going on in my head have been really scary to me. And that's because I don't have the answers. Like, as a human being, like, just so you guys can understand like what's been going on. Like, I've been driving myself crazy. Like, I've been thinking about, why are we here? Is there really a God? Who created us? Are we just science? Did we really just develop from some organism and now we're here in just some system where we work and then we die and then there's nothing? Or are we really spiritual beings having a human experience and we're here to learn about whatever the hell it is that we're going to learn? Because a lot of people say it's on purpose. We're here to learn on purpose, and then, we move on to the next round or the next phase, or what the hell is going on? So in order to control these thoughts, I've been finding different ways to pretty much cope with them, which really has helped me out a lot. I don't know if any of you have heard of her, but I've been following Shanika Adams. Now, I originally followed her because she is all about being a high value goddess and leveling up and being a better woman, getting your life together, and just being the best version of yourself. Shanika also has really great podcasts about leveling up, positive affirmations, dealing with haters, spiritual awakenings, just being a better person in general. And I typically listen to her podcast in the morning when I'm driving for work, listen to her in complete silence and just take in all the information. On YouTube, I've also found positive affirmation videos that's just about, and just for example, it's like repeating things like, I am safe, I am healthy, I am loved, I am successful, I have financial freedom, just positive things that you want to speak into existence and just have a better life. And I'm learning different things to say whenever I have negative thoughts. A lot of times when I'm at work and I'm just, my job requires for me to be alone literally the whole time. So when you're alone, you don't have anyone to talk to. So you can only imagine the thoughts that may go through my head. Like, I just observe outside and people walking around, just like, oh my God, like, what if a boulder just falls on someone? Or what if some random car just hits me? Like, in life, any random thing can happen to you, and it's just so crazy. And I'm like, what, no, let me change my thoughts. That's not going to happen. So you can only imagine what I've been thinking. I've also have gotten into reading books, just books about improving your life and what you can do to turn it around. A big thing that I want to do is work on having financial freedom and financial literacy, and learning more about like savings and being more responsible with your money. Just trying to, anything negative that I don't like about my life, I've just been trying to turn it into a positive. This is not something, or the things that have been going on in my life and going through my head is not something that I want to last forever. I do have goals and aspirations and things that I want to do, but I don't necessarily have anyone. Oh, excuse me, y'all. The girls try to pop out and say hello, say goodbye, honey child. But it's just been crazy. Now, I am a whole lot better. I would say last month in February, especially the beginning, was really, really, really hard for me, because physically, like, my body, I'm trying to find the words, like, I just felt like there was a weight Like, if anyone has ever went through depression, you know, it's just a matter of you not wanting to literally do anything. Like, I would have so much to do, and all I want to do was just so much to do. And I think that's another part of it, like me just being overwhelmed, trying to take on many different tasks. You know, I have a regular 9 to 5 like everybody else, or anybody else that have 9 to 5, but I don't plan on doing that for the rest of my life. So I've just been trying to find things to motivate me. And the thing about life, there's no roadmap or directions or anything to tell you what you need to do. So I'm just trying to find anything that speaks to me and my path. So one thing that has helped me out a lot, I don't know if any of you have heard of her, but if you're in the makeup industry or the beauty industry, you may have. Tayana Robinson, shout out to her. But she has Makeup Mogul University, and pretty much is just like an online course that helps beautypreneurs and kind of gives you some good ideas on what you could do to change your mindset in order to be successful, and a whole lot of helpful tips and ideas so that you can make money and learn how to brand and just basically do what you need to do to be successful, you know? And it definitely was a big investment for me, but I'm like, okay, don't invest in it and just be clueless and not do what you want, or invest in it, take the chance, and you could possibly have a lot of success. So I invested in it, and it's something I've been working on, and I really hope for the best, you know, because I am a freelance makeup artist. Another thing that I also think contributed to my depression was the fact that, you know, my clientele isn't every single day. It's pretty much, you know, spread out, and I want it to be every day, where so I don't have to work for anybody anymore. Because it's another thing that, you know, makes me sad sometimes, because when I'm at my job, I'm working for someone else. I'm putting money in their pocket, and I know that I have the capability of working for myself and being successful and being on my own schedule and doing what I want to do. That's the ultimate goal. I'm not going to be 55 years old wishing woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like, no, it happens right now. And that's another thing that can get a lot of us down. We look at social media and dwell on that so much because we see people that are doing the things that we want to do and we're not there yet. And I feel like that can get me down sometimes, because I do see people that are younger than I am. I'm like, dang, like, they doing it, why I'm not doing it? But you got to realize people have different resources. They may have started before you. Like me, it wasn't even my dream to be a makeup artist. Like, I just decided I wanted to be a makeup artist a few years ago. If I was in high school and I thought I wanted to be a makeup artist, I would have for sure have been where I wanted to be. But I had completely different career ideas in high school, and I've changed my career goal like 4 times. So you know, it's just been a struggle, because I have peaks where my clientele is consistent, then when it's really dry, and so it's been a back and forth. But I'm trying to learn how to brand so that it can be consistent, because for sure Kira Rosati is going to be a global brand name, a global household name. Everybody in that mama gonna know who I am, and I plan on leaving something for my family when I die. I'm definitely trying to create generational wealth and be an example for my children. If I decide to have children, just be a positive role model for those who need one. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me, just dealing with depression, anxiety, existential crisis. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm depressed now. I do want to say that there are days where I'm really down, but just me looking more into these positive affirmations and these videos, they have been really helpful. So I've just been trying to, what's the term I'm looking for? Help myself. I don't even know what the term is called for that, but you know, I'm not going to be able to talk to my therapist every single day, so I got to be able to do something to help myself. So whenever I'm down, I just look for things that are positive or try to change that thought. For anybody who is going through something out there, there are definitely resources. You should never sit there and just dwell in your down times. If you don't want to feel like that, you don't have to. Everything is about mindset. Everything is in your head. So whenever you're thinking of something negative, you gotta deflect it with a positive. So if you're like, oh, I'll never be successful, you can say like, simple, I will be successful. I am successful. My success is coming. I am in charge of my own success. So just something as simple as that. There's definitely other ones, but just to think of something quickly. So again, I definitely want a lot of you to look into existential crisis, because that's something that we all face and we don't have to dwell on. But I want to make a second video for this, because the existential crisis leads to a lot of other stuff, and you're awakening and realizing a lot of stuff that's going on in this world that a lot of us are blind to, and that's what I'll learn about. So when I got more information, I'm gonna talk about it. But yeah, that's just something that I really want to let you guys know. Another thing that's been kind of contributing to my thoughts have also been this coronavirus shit. Coronavirus! No, funny but not funny. Not funny at all, actually. So rest in peace to anybody who has passed from this horrible thing that's going on. But no, so I've actually have calmed down from a lot of death thoughts that I've been having. We literally have no idea what it's going to lead to. Apparently this might last till August. I hope not, because we got shit to do. So the fuck. But yeah, it is a scary thing. You know, people are saying that this could possibly be something man-made. It's for population control, or niggas did something with some bats or some animals and it spread. Just sound like 28 days later and all types of other stuff. There's movies about this stuff, but you know, it's affecting a lot of us. It's in my city, it's in every city, it's everywhere. Hopefully I don't get it. I hope nobody I know get it. I don't want anybody to get it. I can't stop it, but I ain't trying to pass from it. If I do, there's literally nothing I can do, and rest in peace to myself in the future if it happens. I know that sounds so bad, but no, no, all jokes aside, it's just a really crazy time that we're going through. You know, we watch all these movies, but we never really think that anything like this will ever happen in real life, and now it's literally happening. We have so many restaurants that are closing, bars, casinos, schools, everything. We supposed to be in self-quarantining. Right now, we having a quarantine and chill, like niggas watching TV. We about to eat and hope we live, you know. So yeah, people are having to cancel party. I definitely hope I live. You don't hope that you live, or you don't care if you live or not, Susie. But yeah, so I just pray that people stop buying all the toilet paper, because we need toilet paper. Like, I went to Walmart yesterday and I ain't never seen Walmart that empty, not even Black Friday. And I done seen some horrible Walmart Black Friday stuff, and I literally went in there for like tuna and fruit. Like, come on now. So I'm gonna just stay prayed up, hope for the best, continue sanitizing as best as I can, and we gonna keep it gangster, you know what I'm saying? 2020, we had big hopes, but you trash. But I definitely want to thank you for anyone who has taken the time out to watch my video. As human beings, we definitely have our down times. Some people get depressed and think about suicide. You never should. So if you ever need anyone to talk to, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I'll definitely include my email and also a hotline that you can contact. But remember, whenever you're thinking about anything negative, try to deflect that thought, turn it into a positive. You are never alone. You have people here to help you. So before you do anything crazy, think about anything crazy, just know that you always have help. And thanks again for watching. Bye.